messed you up already. Try to sync the audio now.
Welcome to Mount Rushmore. We're here at Boulevard Nights, Kansas City, Missouri, the greatest place on earth, other than Madison, Wisconsin, I guess.
Yes.
This fine gentleman.
Or Disneyland.
Yeah.
Or Disneyland could also function as the greatest place.
This fine gentleman on my right, Ty Christian, Lords of the Trident. Welcome to. Have you been to Kansas City before?
Yes, we played Kansas City. Did we play Kansas City? I feel like we did. I'd have to look, but I feel like I've been here before. If not, I've been in like the general area before.
In the metro area.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, welcome back then, I should say.
Great to be back.
For those of you playing the home game, Lords of the Trident's on tour right now. They just released The Offering last year. It's the greatest record I've ever heard. If you haven't listened to it, you've got to check it out.
Well, shucks.
It was my number one everything on Spotify, for sure.
Thank you.
But anyway, man, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for doing this video. I'm a list man. I love making lists out of crap. Mm-hmm. So we're playing Mount Rushmore. I'm going to give him a few Mount Rushmores, and he's going to give me his answers. So
all right.
Ready to get rolling?
I'm ready to crush it.
All right, let's start with the most fun one. Your Mount Rushmore of Lords of the Trident songs. You get to toot your own horn a little bit.
Yeah, this is always difficult because it's like picking your favorite child. Yeah. You know, it's like, which one of these would you send to the execution? Yeah. It's, I would say probably number one for me is the song Figaro off of 2018 Shadows from the Past. Yeah. The Baron, the lead guitarist, and I really, when he joined the band, really bonded over our shared love for Final Fantasy VI. And he wrote this amazing, song and handed it to me, and I was like, oh, I love this. And I could tell he put a lot of time and effort into it. I'm like, I gotta make this about something that we both really dig, and wrote about Final Fantasy VI. And it's just been a fan favorite, and it's been a band favorite for the longest time. So I think Figaro is probably my number one out of there. Number two, the rest of the guys would hate me for saying this, but I think the Metal Sea.
Oh, that's such a good song.
Is number two. And the reason the guys would hate me is because we play it every single show, and I think they're sick of it. But it's definitely the most fun sing along, and real fun fact, it is one of only two Lords of the Trident songs that I wrote.
Really?
Yeah. So I wrote most of the riffs on that. I came up with the idea. Usually I absolutely do not write anything guitar related because I'm like a strum guy.
Yeah.
I can't do the whole woo, I can't do that.
Like the rest of these guys.
Okay? Yeah. So, but I just love how it's sort of become taken a life of its own. The crowd has sort of made it something that we have to do every show. Yeah. Whenever we don't play it, everybody's like, "Oh, what the fuck, man!" Wow, and so the people have spoken. Sorry, Aki, we gotta play it.
Yeah. I believe shout out to Tanny. I believe my best friend Tanner is coming in pirate gear tonight.
Hell yeah!
That'll be perfect.
All right. So we'll skip the Metal Sea.
Yeah.
Number three. I think number three and number four probably are going to be off of the latest album. I would.
As they should be.
Yeah, I would probably say "Offering to the Void" is going to be my number three. I really love that song, and I love how it came out, and it sort of interestingly enough, accidentally kind of set the tone for the entire record. We didn't intend for The Offering to be a concept record. It kind of naturally evolved after a couple songs made sense together, the story-wise, and then I was like, oh, let's see where this goes, and I'd written Offering to the Void way earlier before we even started, heavily working on The Offering, and it just sort of informed the tone and did a lot of background into the story. It became kind of a pivotal point in the story. So yeah, I like that one a lot.
Was that one of the first tracks written, I assume?
For offering, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah. And then I think honestly, probably Power Bugle off of offering. I just love that riff so much. It's just such a great headbanging riff, and the fact that Grant's from Unleash Your Archers threw his vocals on there too was just icing on the cake. It was really great.
Yeah, not the first time an Archer's been in a track either.
Yep. Yeah, we did Burn It Down with Fire with Brittany in the last release. So.
Yeah. I love it, man. I love it. Check out the offering if you haven't done so. My God. Anyway, moving
Pitchfork gives it a moderately okay. Yeah, that's what they said.
That's way better than bad. So, all right. Hey, shout out to Wisconsin. How about your Mount Rushmore of Wisconsin metal bands? There's a lot.
Yeah. Gosh. Oh man. So this is no judgment on any of the bands.
That's not what I intended.
This is just personal choice. For me, I have always been a gigantic fan of Droids Attack. They're a stoner metal band from Madison. I've actually, fun fact, been their dancing robot for a number of years before I tore my ACL doing parkour. So, a lot of us in the band really, really love Droids. We've had them on many shows. We've had them on CD releases. They're one of my favorites. Next up, I would probably say, Wisconsin metal bands. I'd probably say the next one that comes to mind is Conniption from Milwaukee. They're very much a, old school Big Four inspired, kind of Metallica-esque thrash band. Really great, wonderful band. Came up with a lot of really great stuff. Next one, oh man, this is tough because now I feel like if I don't say one of them, they're gonna be like, Ty hates me.
Hey, honorable mentions welcome if you feel the need.
Gosh, there's just a lot. There's a lot of fun bands that are in the area that I really, really do enjoy. But I don't know if they would make my top 4 metal bands. I would say probably the next one for Wisconsin metal bands would probably be Casket Robbery. They are a kind of an extreme death metal band from just west of us. And the guitarist for Casket Robbery was actually in Brian Barron's old band Luna Mortis, and then they broke up. He started Casket. Brian came to Lords, and they've just been killing it. They've been touring a lot. They've been doing a lot of videos. They've been really doing everything right in terms of like by the book kind of stuff. And they've been growing really, really well. So yeah, great to see them. Great to see them prosper. Metal bands. Oh boy. I would think maybe the 4th one that I would say, a newer one that I think has a band that I think has a lot of potential coming up. A band from Madison called Queen of Dreams. Also a power metal band. Their drummer actually auditioned for us when we lost our last drummer, and then he unfortunately didn't get the gig. But he started his own band, and they've been playing a lot. They played Mad Power, our festival, last year. They did really great. Had a really great. A lot of people really enjoyed their performance. Really great reception. That was the word I was looking for. Really great reception. So yeah, I'd say that's my top 4 Wisconsin metal bands, at least the ones that come to mind. I'm sure there's probably famous ones that I'm completely overlooking, but like a lot of my brain goes to like local and now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. You get to support local metals.
Yeah.
Love it. Let's see, what do I got here next? Okay, I got 2 more for you.
Okay.
On the subject of power metal and American power metal specifically, how about your Mount Rushmore of American power metal?
Now here's the question: are we saying North America as in the continent, or are we saying U.S. of A, Canada excluded?
See, I had a feeling you might ask that.
Because you know where I'm going first.
Yes.
You know exactly where I'm going first.
Let's go North America.
North America. Okay.
To make it easier.
Yeah. I would say the last 2 Unleash the Archers records as one package. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah.
Apex and Abyss.
It's a conglomerate.
Yeah. Interestingly, we were friends with them before they came out with Abyss, or Apex and everything like that. We actually toured with them in 2016 and crashed my house. Them and Crimson Shadows, and we just hit it off. They were just clinically nice because they're from Canada, otherwise they'd get kicked out.
Yeah, I think it's illegal.
Exactly. Yeah, if you're not nice, they kick you right out. So yeah, Unleash Your Archers probably be first. That's the one that I think weighs heavily on most people's minds right this second. I would probably say, let me think, North American albums, power metal albums. I'm not sure if it qualifies. I think it does, but I think like maybe Black Halo by Camelot, or something like that. One of the earlier Camelot albums, even though they are technically they're based out of Florida, right?
Yeah.
They're somewhat international, but technically are they a U.S. band? I think they are. So I would say Camelot there.
I'll accept it.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the people will.
The people will accept it. Probably something. One of the last three albums by Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah.
I would say Zenith
Rockin'
Seven Kingdoms. Zenith just came out, and we've been digging on that. I really liked MTI's, their EP before that. I know I'm missing one in there. They're probably gonna put me in a headlock because of it, but
sorry.
Yeah, sorry guys. But one of the last, let's say, 3 Seven Kingdoms releases, any one of those I can put in a U.S. power metal band top 4. And then You know what? Okay, this was I'm gonna throw this one, since we're allowed in Canada. I'm gonna throw this one out, and this may, I don't know if this is a surprise for some people, but the final 3 Inches of Blood record, Long Live Heavy Metal. I love that record.
It's so good.
And it was such, on one hand, it was a great way to go out on top. On the other hand, it was like, fuck.
It's so disappointing.
They just came out with it, and I was like, this is your best record in years, easily. I can't wait for you. Oh, you're breaking up. Cool. Oh,
and it's
crap.
almost symbolic that the final track is called One for the Ditch.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're literally, that's it. And I'm friends with Ash Pearson and Cam Pipes,
Mhm.
and Justin Hagberg. Shout out to those guys. I love those guys. You're right about Canadian people.
Mhm.
In terms of interviews I've ever done or people I've ever reached out to, I'm 3 for 3 on Canadians, and they're all in 3 Inches of Blood.
Yeah.
And that is an amazing record. It's funny. I think one of my favorite records ever, along with The Offering, in terms of power metal or just
Mhm.
records ever, is Here Waits Thy Doom. And I think it just has it's just
Yeah.
personally, everyone has a weird reason to like certain records, right?
Yeah.
But if that for me is a 11 out of 10, I think Long Live Heavy Metal is still a 10 out of 10.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a good record.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That's a great fucking list, man.
Yeah.
Well, I've got one more for you, and
All
then I
right.
can get you out of here and stop wasting your time.
It's never a waste.
And I like to personalize these lists. So,
Okay.
final one, all time, any genre, any country, doesn't matter the band or
Mhm.
genre, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
All time metal singers, vocalists.
Mm.
You get your pick of the litter here.
Bjorn Landy, probably number 1. I love his tone. I love his mixed voice. I think pretty much everybody, every hardcore singer, every vocal nerd that I've ever talked to, loves and hates Bjorn Landy, because he feels like he could just get out of bed and just and sing those high notes in this heavy chest mix that all of the rest of us can only mildly emulate. It's definitely a physicality with him, and I think it's something that a lot of us aspire to. So I think he's number 1 for me. I very much love, and I can't remember his name right now. Not the current singer of Anthem, the Japanese metal band, but the singer beforehand. And I'm completely blanking on his name right now, but he was a singer from 93 until 2016. And if people are unfamiliar with Anthem, there is a band favorite album that Anthem came out with called Immortal. believe that's like a 2008 or 2010 release. Really insanely good album. Really amazing vocal acrobatics. Just crazy stuff that they do. Okay. Man, this is tough. Sorry. No, it's okay. I should have thought about this a bit earlier. I definitely love. Hansi Kirsch is an easy one to pick. Because he's so well known. I think the thing that I love the most about Hansi is not necessarily his tonality or his like approach or his voice in general, but just the way that he has really sort of paved the way for single person choirs in a lot of like power metal. A lot of us, I think, grew up listening to Blind Guardian and really becoming entranced with the how massive, the backing vocals were, and then to learn that it was all him doing like 27 tracks, really influenced how I approached a lot of stuff. Probably from like 2015, 2016 onward, I really started to get into like heavy choir work, and now I do a lot of choir work for other bands. The latest Judicator record, for example, I did all of the backing choirs for John. I did all the backing choirs in the entire album of Marius Daniels's Legend of Valley Doom Part 3. So I do a lot of that now. And then, I think the last one that it is a little bit more personal for me in that he's like a buddy of mine, is Matt from Fellowship. He and I go back and forth nerding out about vocal shit all the time on Messenger, and it's always this sort of like, God, Matt, your fucking, your head voice is so good, and then it's like, no, your chest voice is so like big and deep, and I wish I had that. I'm like, no, shut up, we're both good. Let's just agree to disagree that we're both awesome. Okay, fine, all right, fine. So I really do love Matt stuff. So,
Wonderful. Well, that wraps it up for your list. You don't have to think anymore.
Sweet.
And before I get you out of here, I'll roll out the red carpet for you. What's it look like for Lords of the Trident coming up? You got more shows to do, more festivals to do. What's all going on?
This is night one of our southwest coast tour. What do you say when you go all the way down south and then all the way up the west coast?
Yeah.
West coast? Is it south tour? I don't know. Southwest tour. So we're doing that. We have Matt of Power, our yearly arcade pinball and heavy metal festival coming up in August. That's every year, third weekend of August every year, Friday and Saturday. We're moving into it. We moved into a much bigger venue, actually 5 times the size of our previous venue.
Wow.
And we've got an amazing lineup this year. We've actually already sold out of all of the gold and sponsorship VIP packages, I think as of this morning, about 670 tickets sold total, and we have 1,500 to sell. So we're getting close to halfway there. And and then we're doing a little jaunt up to. We've got a planned jaunt up to Montreal in November, and then we've got another planned tour for Japan in 2024. We just got back from Japan, and this last December, and it was really, really fun. So we got another one planned for 2024.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm happy for you guys, and I'm even happier that you're in Kansas City. We get skipped over a lot on tour, but not by Lords of the Trident. If you haven't already, you've got to check out The Offering. It's one of the best power metal records ever released.
Shucks.
Again, Ty Christian, Lords of the Trident. Thanks for being here, bro. I'm Brandon Palmer. I'll catch you guys on the next episode of Mount Rushmore.